Hi, welcome back to Collecting Canadian Cavalry and Armour. Today we're going to look at some brass dragoon helmets for Lord Strathcona's horse. Yes, I know they're not dragoons, but they are entitled to use the brass helmets. You see two of them here. I'm going to show you a third one here like toward the end of the video here. Now, as usual, we need our reference material. Clive Law's book on fuss and fashion. Features actually all three of the helmets that I'm going to show you today are all featured right here under the Strathcona's horse. We can see them right here. Okay, and again, wonderful book. You guys pick up the reference material. So the first helmet we're going to look at will be this one on your left side of the screen. This one, as you can see by the helmet plate, is a Tudor crown, and which means it's much older. Now, if you look at the body of the helmet, it's steel. In 1903, the dress regulation said that Strathcona's horse had to use steel helmets. Now, that was only in effect until 1907, so this helmet was only used by the regiment for 4 years. So I might as well say right off the bat, all three of these helmets I'm going to show you came from Clive Law's collection. All right, fantastic collector, had tons of stuff. We're very fortunate to be able to pick up these helmets. Okay, to carry on here. Now this helmet here, you can see is the usual two-piece construction where they have the band here over top of the seam. On the back, another hint to the age, is this cover here for the seam is in oak leaves. Later on will come maple leaves, and I'll show you that on this one here. You'll notice the plume is white over red, which were the colors for the Strathcona's horse for their helmets. And the helmet plates. Now there should be a chin strap, but it's been lost over the years. I mean, this thing is 120 years old, so not too surprised. But lucky enough, the inside helmet liner is still in pretty good shape. You know, a lot of these things as they age, they lose some of the stuff, rots and that type of thing. But so I'm very fortunate this one's actually in pretty good shape. Again, that's a testament to Clive in his collecting. Now, this one that we have here, this is more of a present day one. You'll notice the St. Edward's or the Queen's Crown on the helmet plate here. Again, nice starburst helmet plate like we have on both of them. The white over red horsehair plume. And on the back, though, down here in this seam, you can see that they're maple leaf, which usually indicates the newer version of the helmet. Okay. Now, this one still has the chin strap with the chain in place, and beautiful liner. It's in fantastic shape. Now, I'm told that in the early 1970s, Strathcona's horse decided to reinstitute their mounted troop. And just like the RCMP have their musical ride, so does the Strathcona's. They still have their horse troop with the guys all dressed up in the scarlet uniforms with the green facings, and we have the brass dragoon helmets. Really, really fantastic show if you guys ever get a chance to see them. So you can just see by comparing these two other ranks, right? This is what the other ranks, not the officers, would be wearing. So again, you see the 1903 to 1907 compared to the brass helmet that's being used ever since then. So really nice parts to the collection. Expensive, right? You're going to look at anywhere. It depends on the regiment, depends on the age of the helmet, you know, that type of thing. But usually these things start at about $1,500 and go up. Okay, my friend Dave Horath up at Toronto Military Antiques up there in North York, he's got a couple of beautiful helmets. Maybe I shouldn't say anything because I wouldn't mind getting one of these days. But remember when we took a look at the stuff for the 25th Brant Dragoons? Got a beautiful Brant Dragoon helmet up there, but $2,500 a little steep for me right now. So let's take a look at the officer's helmet. So here we have the officer's version of the helmet for the Strathcona's horse. And again, you can see up here we have the St. Edward's or Queen's Crown on this beautiful starburst, but as you can see, there's so much more around it. Now, I asked a friend of mine who served many, many years in Strathcona's horse, and Anthony told me that in the early 70s, when the regiment was going to reconstitute their mounted troop, I had mentioned earlier, that they were able to get an officer's helmet from their allied regiment over in England. Now, this is in the style of the household cavalry. Now, we can compare the officers to the junior ranks. Okay, you'll see the finial here, this little spike thing here. And on this one, much more ornate. You have the large ball here with the vents, and comes all the way up here. And on the very top, you'll see a much larger rosette that holds the horsehair plume. Now, the funny thing about this one is that the plume is all red. And I'm not really sure what the deal is there, but it further distinguishes the officer from the ranks. So when this helmet arrived, they had this beautiful ornate stuff, lack of a better term, around there. They applied their own helmet plate to there. You'll notice on the side, the rosettes here are much larger than those of the junior ranks. Okay, and again, fortunate enough that you still have a full liner in there, although it's coming loose from the helmet. I'll have to try to fix that up a little bit. And you see even the chain is much larger. We still have the leather on here and leather lining the helmet here, where the other rank's helmet does not. I'll show a quick look at that just to show you again. You can see no liner. The officers tend to have better quality stuff, maybe because there's fewer of them, or back in the day they could afford it. So if you take a look on the back here along the seam, we had talked earlier about the oak leaves and maple leaves. We have a different set of leaves altogether because this came from England. Okay, so we don't have any of the Canadian stuff on there. So this is a beautiful helmet. Again, it came out of Clive Law's collection and is featured in his book. So if you want to take a close look at there, buy his book, because I'm not letting these out of my sight. Maybe my kids will when I drop dead, but for now, they're mine. Anyway, guys, I've got a few more brass helmets that we'll take a look at in further episodes. We've got a couple of the stainless steel ones from the Horse Guards. Again, nice helmets. Expensive, but if you're going to be collecting, that's part of it, right? So, like I said, beautiful officer's helmet here. A little bit different than the other ranks, but then officer stuff usually is, like I already said. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Some facet of collecting stuff that actually a lot of people can't afford, and I probably really can't anymore either, but you find ways, right? Anyway, like I said, I hope you guys like this. I hope it was informative, and happy collecting.